Hello friends. Trading sounds easy, but in reality, it is just as difficult. Understanding market movements might be simple, but the real challenge lies in understanding the movements of your own mind. Have you ever wondered, your strategy was right, so why did you still face a loss? The real battle isn't outside, it's within. And The Disciplined Trader is the book that teaches you how to win that battle. This isn't just a trading book, it's a guide to navigating the mental warfare where emotions, beliefs, and discipline truly change your game. So, let's dive deep into this book. Chapter 1, The Road to Success. Have you ever felt like you did everything right, market analysis, strategy, timing, yet the result wasn't what you expected? You were sitting in front of the screen, fingers ready, plan set, but the moment you took the trade, panic set in. Fear took over. A small market movement shattered your confidence. This is where a trader's real journey begins, the road to success. But success doesn't come from charts, indicators, or news. It comes from conquering your mind. Let me tell you a story. A boy who was new to the stock market took his first trade of 10,000 Indian rupees, thinking the risk was small, just to gain some experience. But as soon as the trade went into loss, his heartbeat raced, his hands trembled. It was just a small loss, but the fear made him feel like he was about to lose everything. That day, he questioned himself, am I even cut out for this world? Thousands of traders ask themselves this same question every day. The path to success isn't a straight road, it's a journey where, at every step, we confront ourselves. What we think, what we believe, what we feel, all silently control our decisions. We think we're here to understand the market, but in reality, the market forces us to understand ourselves. Imagine a boxer who steps into the ring knowing the opponent will throw punches, yet he doesn't fear because he knows fear isn't his weakness, it's his trainer. Similarly, when a trader stops fearing losses, he learns how to win. But this shift doesn't happen overnight. Often, people keep changing strategies, watching YouTube videos, trying new indicators, yet the results don't change. Why? Because the root problem isn't outside, it's inside. There's an invisible wall within us made up of old beliefs, childhood conditioning, and past failures. And when we trade, this wall stands before us. Every small market volatility hits that wall, shaking our mindset. The road to success begins with self-awareness. A professional trader once said, trading isn't about predicting the market, it's about controlling yourself when the market does something unexpected. And this is where most people give up. They think, maybe this isn't for me. But in reality, they just never learn to understand their emotions. This chapter brings forth the raw reality, why people self-sabotage and how the right mindset becomes the biggest edge in trading. Think about it, if you could remove fear, doubt, and impulsiveness, wouldn't all your decisions become clearer? The road to success isn't easy, but it's straightforward, if you learn to listen to and control the noise within. This book takes you on the first step of that journey. It starts with the understanding that trading isn't a battle against the market, it's a war against yourself. And the one who conquers themselves becomes the real trader. Chapter 2, Some Perspectives on Probability. Imagine you have a coin. You flip it, heads or tails, a 50-50 chance. But now, suppose tails comes up 3 times in a row. What will happen on the 4th flip? Most people will say, now, heads must come. But why? Because our brain tries to find patterns even in randomness. And this becomes our biggest mistake in trading. The market isn't a fixed street, it's an open ocean where every wave is unpredictable. Yet, as humans, we crave certainty. We want the market to behave exactly as we predict. And when it doesn't, we break. This is where the real understanding of probability begins. There was a trader who always traded with high conviction. He believed his analysis was perfect, and every trade was a test of his confidence. But after 4 consecutive losses, fear consumed him before the 5th trade. His hands shook, his heart raced, and guess what? That day, he faced his biggest loss. Why? Because he mistook probability for prediction. Probability means the possibility of an outcome, not a guarantee. But in trading, our brain reverses this logic. We think if we do everything right, the result must match. But the market is like a casino, where the edge matters, not individual trades. Imagine you own a casino. You have a game where you win 55 times out of 100, and the customer wins 45. If a player wins 5 times in a row, would you panic? No, because you know in the long run, you will win. A professional trader does the same. They don't care if a single trade wins or loses because they know their edge will keep them profitable long term. But a new trader ties every trade to their ego. And when a trade loses, they see themselves as a failure. The biggest challenge in trading is accepting uncertainty. Our whole life teaches us certainty: study hard, get promoted, work hard, get results. But trading is a place where doing everything right can still lead to loss, and making mistakes can still bring profit. When you understand probability, you don't hold expectations from the market, you just follow the process. This mindset gives you emotional stability. An experienced trader was once asked, "How do you stay so confident?" He replied, "Because I don't expect to be right. I expect to manage whatever comes." Success here doesn't mean being right, it means thinking in terms of opportunity. Probability teaches us that every outcome has uncertainty, but handling that uncertainty emotionally is the real skill. And no strategy or indicator can teach you this. It comes when you accept that loss is also a part of trading. Chapter 3: The Dynamics of Perception. Show the same chart to two traders. One will say the market will go up, the other will say it'll fall. Strange, isn't it? The market is the same, the data is the same, the candles are the same, yet their perceptions differ. Because we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. In trading, perception works like an invisible filter shaped by our past experiences, beliefs, and emotions. This filter decides how we interpret the market. For example, if a trader once suffered a big loss in a specific pattern, the next time they see that pattern, their subconscious fear activates. They won't see logic, just danger. But another trader who profited from the same setup will see it as a golden opportunity. In other words, our perspective is more powerful than the chart itself. Imagine a trader who learned from a webinar that a head and shoulders pattern is a bearish signal. The next day, he saw the pattern and shorted without thinking. But the market reversed, and he faced a big loss. Later, he checked his analysis, everything was correct. So, where was the mistake? The mistake was in perception. The pattern was incomplete, there was no volume confirmation. But his mind saw only what it wanted to see. This is called selective perception. We accept only what matches our existing beliefs, ignoring everything else. In trading, this is the most dangerous trap. Many say, the market cheated me. But the market never cheats, perception does. The way we look at it blinds us. Perception isn't limited to patterns or indicators, it controls our emotions too. When we're in fear, every move seems dangerous. When we're greedy, every move seems like an opportunity. And this shifting perception distracts us from strategy. Controlling perception isn't easy, it's a mix of childhood experiences and every small or big event in our lives. If we were punished for being wrong as kids, we'll see losses as punishments, not feedback. A girl always booked small profits because she believed, book profits early, or you'll lose everything. One day, a perfect trend came, but she exited early. Later, she saw the market hit her projected target. She was shattered. But the next time, she did the same. Why? Because in her perception, the market was a thief. Unless perception changes, changing strategy won't help. Shifting perception is a mental exercise. When you ask yourself after every trade, did I really see what was on the chart, or did my mind assign meaning to it? you take a step forward. To win in trading, the first requirement is seeing reality as it is, not with excessive fear, not with excessive hope. Because only when perception is clear do decisions become pure. And in trading, pure decisions are the key to consistent success. Chapter 4: The Impact of Beliefs on Trading. Imagine a voice inside you that says before every trade, this time, there shouldn't be a loss. You take the trade, but the market moves against you. In anger, you remove the stop loss, and when the loss deepens, you panic and exit. Later, you wonder, why did I do that? Because the decision wasn't made by you, it was made by your belief system. Beliefs are the invisible threads that control our thoughts, emotions, and every trade. And the biggest thing? We often don't even realize what invisible rules we're following. A boy named Arjun was smart, educated, and had a solid strategy. But every time the market moved against him, he froze, he wouldn't cut losses, and small losses became big. One day, I asked him, why don't you cut losses? He said, because since childhood, I've been taught that giving up is wrong. And that's where the whole game lies. The belief, never accept defeat, which was taught in childhood, was drowning him in trading. He never learned that in trading, accepting a loss isn't failure, it's wisdom. Beliefs aren't always logical, they're emotional, often born from past pain, fear, or experiences. Many traders think, if I take a loss, I'm weak. This belief doesn't make them strong, it pushes them toward emotional decision-making. A girl was a very cautious trader, she never took a trade without double confirmation. Yet, her trades often missed. When asked what she feared, she said, I can't afford mistakes. Because deep down, she had an old belief, making mistakes means I'm incapable. Until we recognize our belief system, we remain trapped in the web our own mind has spun. In trading, belief is the biggest invisible enemy. And if it's the wrong belief, it can make even the right strategy fail. Think about it, if you believe the market is unpredictable, and I'm never safe, you'll trade in constant fear. Fear will force you to book profits early and hold losses hoping for a reversal. For success, a trader must first look at their belief system in the mirror. Now, a question, can beliefs be changed? Yes, but it requires awareness. When you recognize that a belief is holding you back, you can challenge it. Does every loss mean failure? No. Do mistakes define my worth? Absolutely not. Changing belief starts with questioning. And the biggest breakthrough comes when you realize, I'm not a slave to my beliefs. I'm their creator. Trading is a mental game, and beliefs are its deepest foundations. Working on strategy is easy, but changing beliefs is the real transformation. As long as you think like a trader bound by beliefs, progress will be inconsistent. But the day you start reprogramming your beliefs, your trading begins to shift. And that journey starts with awareness. So next time you take a trade, ask yourself, am I taking this trade based on my strategy or my old beliefs? Because in trading, success doesn't depend on skills alone, it depends on beliefs. Chapter 5: The Dynamics of Goals. Rahul was taught since childhood, if you want something, set a big goal, work hard, and don't stop until you achieve it. With this mindset, he started trading. His first goal? Earn 5,000 Indian rupees every month. He planned everything in Excel, how many trades to take, how much risk, how many wins needed. Everything was set. But in the first week itself, 2 losses shook his system. Fear, frustration, anger, everything hit at once. Suddenly, Rahul changed his goal, now, just recover the loss. The next week was worse. By month end, instead of 5,000 Indian rupees profit, he had a 70,000 Indian rupees loss. So, is setting goals wrong? No, the mistake is chasing goals the wrong way. In trading, the dynamics of goals are different. Focusing on the outcome doesn't give clarity, it adds pressure. A swimmer was once asked, how do you win every race? He replied, I don't think about winning. I think about perfecting every stroke. This same mindset is crucial in trading. Because when we make money our main goal, our energy splits between fear and expectation. We start seeing every trade as a step toward that goal, and if a step breaks, we feel broken too. Goals only work when they're internal, not external. Internal goals mean focusing on discipline, perfecting strategy, recognizing emotions, and improving daily. A trader named Niraj used to sit in the market every day with a goal of earning 1,000 Indian rupees. Some days he did, some days he didn't. On bad days, he took extra trades, revenge trading, overtrading. But one day, he changed his approach. His new goal: I will follow my rules in every trade, no matter the outcome. Within weeks, his performance stabilized. Why? Because he was no longer outcome-driven, he was process-driven. The biggest game in trading goals is this: do you see the process as the goal, or just the result? If your goal is just money, every loss will make you emotional. But if your goal is staying disciplined, every loss will make you stronger. Think of an archer. While shooting, he focuses only on the target. If he keeps thinking, I must win this time, his hand will shake, and he'll miss. Trading is the same: the calmer the mind, the sharper the decisions. Now, a dilemma: without goals, how will motivation come? The answer is simple: goals should exist, but they must be within your control. You can't make profit a goal, it depends on market behavior. But you can make discipline a goal, because it depends on your behavior. The only traders who stay consistent are those who reward daily discipline, not just money. A goal is like a compass, not a finish line. It gives direction, but whether you reach it depends on how grounded you stay at every step. So next time you set a goal, don't set an outcome, set an intention. Success in trading comes from taking every action with awareness, understanding every emotion, and honoring the process. Because the real win isn't about money, it's about conquering yourself. Chapter 6: Discipline, the invisible force that decides everything. There was a boy named Vivek. He found the world of trading fascinating: charts, green candles, fast profits. He thought he could make it big. He learned a strategy, back-tested it, and confidently jumped into the market. On the very first day, he made a profit and was overjoyed, like hitting a jackpot. But the next day, the same strategy started giving losses. He took a trade with a plan, but as soon as the candle reversed, he panicked. He removed his stop-loss, hoping the market would reverse. But it didn't. The loss deepened. That night, he couldn't sleep. His mind kept asking, why did I do that when I knew the rules? Because knowing the rules and staying disciplined are two very different things. Discipline, a word that sounds small but changes lives from within. In trading, it's your biggest strength, and your biggest weakness if ignored. Discipline isn't just about following rules, it's about recognizing your emotions, accepting them, but not acting on them. The market challenges you every second: break the rules just this once. Increase the risk, the profit will be bigger. Remove the stop-loss, maybe the market will reverse. And if you give in even once, the market will teach you the price of indiscipline. A professional trader once said, discipline begins where comfort ends. The moment your mind says, let's adjust a little, that's when you must activate discipline. The biggest secret to winning in trading is this: how long can you honor your plan? Especially when the market moves against you or when you feel like making an exception. Discipline is boring. It doesn't give thrill or excitement, it teaches you to do the right thing, whether you feel like it or not. And that's why most traders fail to stay consistent: they want excitement, not excellence. A girl used to do pre-market analysis every morning, planning entries, exits, and stop-losses. But when it was time to trade, emotions took over, and she strayed from the plan. One day, she decided, no matter what, I won't deviate. In the next 3 months, she achieved the consistency she hadn't seen in a year. Why? Because she made discipline her strength. Discipline frees you from chaos, from overthinking, from regret. It's the invisible edge that doesn't show on charts but exists in every winning trader. Discipline doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes, it means you won't lose control even after a mistake. When you're disciplined, you see every trade as part of a system, not too excited, not too fearful. You stop tying the market to your ego or identity. And that's when you become a real trader. The true test of discipline comes when everything is against you, and you still stick to your rules. The market rewards you, not immediately, but eventually. So next time you take a trade, ask yourself, can I step out of my comfort zone to make the right decision? If the answer is yes, you're among the few who can turn trading into an art. Because everyone has a strategy, but only those who set out to conquer themselves have discipline. Chapter 7, Shifting to a Probabilistic Mindset. Imagine you own a casino. Hundreds come to play every day, some win, some lose, some curse and leave. Yet, you sit comfortably in your glass cabin, sipping coffee. Why? Because you know your game has an edge. You know that out of 100 plays, you win 55 times, and that 55% win rate earns you crores every month. Now, back to trading. This same probabilistic mindset is what separates ordinary traders from extraordinary ones. But most traders enter trading with the opposite mindset. They think, if I do everything right, I must win. And when the market moves against them, their confidence shatters. This is where the shift begins, from deterministic to probabilistic thinking. A boy named Samir had read countless books, attended webinars, backtested, he was ready. His first trade was profitable, confidence grew. The second was a loss, confusion set in. The third was profit again, hope returned. The fourth, a big loss. And then, a voice inside said, maybe I'm just not cut out for trading. Samir wasn't wrong, his logic was strong, his plan was solid. But his mindset was deterministic, expecting the right result for every right step. Trading isn't deterministic, it's probabilistic. This means you don't trade to be 100% right, you trade with the mindset, I don't know what the next trade will do, but I know 6 out of 10 trades will be right. And when this understanding settles deep in your heart, you start trading like a game, not a personal battle. A girl, Ria, felt guilty after every loss. She thought she was missing something, that she needed to learn more. But when she realized losses are part of the probabilistic model, she made a new rule, I will not judge myself on a single trade. And just this one rule freed her psychology. Probabilistic thinking liberates you from emotional burden. When you accept that every trade has both win and loss possibilities, you learn to act fearlessly. Now, the question, how to develop this mindset? First, detach from outcomes. See every trade as part of a long series, like a series of coin tosses. A single toss doesn't matter, but over 100 tosses, the pattern becomes clear. Second, give yourself permission to be wrong. Mistakes don't question your knowledge, they're a sign of professionalism. The biggest benefit of a probabilistic mindset? Freedom from perfection. You don't have to be right every time, just consistent. The biggest illusion in trading is control, and probabilistic thinking teaches you that you can't control outcomes, only your behavior. A professional trader doesn't care what the next trade will do, they care whether they're sticking to the plan. So next time you take a trade, ask, am I trying to control the result or follow the process? If the answer is process, congratulations, you've entered the mindset where long-term success thrives. A probabilistic mindset doesn't just help in trading, it brings clarity to every life decision. Because when you accept that life doesn't give certainty, you learn to walk every step with calmness. And that calmness is what makes a trader a master. Conclusion. By now, you've learned that a trader's biggest battle isn't with charts, news, or indicators, it's within. It's with their thoughts, emotions, and old beliefs. Trading is like a mirror, it shows you every day how stable you are, how aware, how disciplined. You've seen how perception alters reality, how beliefs silently influence decisions, and how the right or wrong goals can make or break your journey. And most importantly, how discipline and a probabilistic mindset give you the clarity where every market movement is just a data point, not an emotional trigger. Success in trading doesn't come from strategy, it comes from stability. If you treat every trade as a win-lose battle, you'll never be free. But if you see every trade as a neutral event, if you understand your emotions and follow the process, that moment becomes your turning point. Remember, in trading, the edge doesn't come from strategy alone. It comes from psychology. And this psychology, this mindset, takes you to the level where every decision is work, every loss is learning, and every win is just a step, not the destination. If you've watched this video till the end, believe me, you're already above average. Now, just stay consistent. If you found this valuable, do subscribe to the Wise Book Voices. Here, we don't just read books, we rewire mindsets. Like and share the video so this message reaches those fighting this journey alone. And in the comments, tell me, what's been your biggest emotional challenge in trading? See you in the next video, with a new book and a new mindset. Thank you.